Well, hello, everybody. Thought we were going to be late, didn't you? No. But boy, we got a full house today. And I got to tell you, I'm ecstatic to see Jenny. Gee, I
Well,
can't,
hello.
is that me?
Sorry, that was me. I wanted to be in chat, so I had to mute the thing. Sorry.
Okay. That sounded good. It's like, it's this future.
Yeah.
So let me go over here, and I am ready to go. So, welcome everybody. If you're here, then you have fulfilled your destiny for this moment. Thank you for tuning in. We speak favor over us all, nothing missing, nothing broken. And I'm excited. This is a second look. You know my lovely co-host, co-pilot, Miss Trina Phoenix. How are you, my dear?
I'm wonderful. It's so good to see you all and just hi.
I was really surprised. I wasn't really expecting because, potentially, Nina, it was just going to be you and I. And Jenny, what are you
Hey,
trying to do to us here? I mean, you
honey.
were you just trying to get dead or what, sweetie? It's so good to see you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm alive. I'm alive, and I'm feeling alive again. Thank goodness.
You're looking
I am
alive.
so glad.
Still a bit rough, but the body's animated again, so I'm good. I'm
Your
good.
energy looks good, dear. And
Thank
how's the family?
Good. They've been great. They've been really lovely and supportive. I always feel bad because I'm always a worry with them. I always tend to take things to the extremes and and then bring them back when they don't think I'm going to. So I can see that I've been work this week, but
Well,
I did as I was told. I've rested as much as physically possible for me. Um, and I've done everything I've been told to do from all the various different parties, and so I'm behaving. I'm behaving, I
good,
promise.
good. Well, you keep on behaving, and I have a, lollipop for you. I'll send it
Thank you.
because that's what good girls get. Well, good boys too.
Took one today. I took one after the blood work that they did. I thought if they're offering stickers and a lolly, I'm going to have one, and I did. Are they on offer? It just did.
I love the synchronicity of this family.
I
I
took.
mean, it's just freaking off the chain of the scale. And we have a special guest joining us, ladies. Nina, and
No.
everybody knows Nina. And
Hi.
if you don't, well, you should subscribe. I've left the link below. In fact, you should all be subscribed to all of these ladies' channels. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it all of y'all are woefully under subscribed. So
It's
yeah.
so funny. It's like if the link's not there, you can't even find my channel. It won't even pull up. It's kind of amazing how bad it is.
It is true. It is.
It's
Yeah.
just true. It just is. It just is what it is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Last
but all things change, it never
Yes.
stays. It may seem like it, but it's even
Wayne, you're right.
changing.
I heard that this morning. It's going to flip, and hold on, guys, because it will. And then we'll really need to put a lot more energy into it because it will be beneficial at that point, and it will happen. I'm seeing that too. Yeah.
Good, good. Well, Nina, how have you been? I haven't seen you in a while. I know you've had some trials with your original channel and now you're having to build back from basically square one. So thought maybe it might help get you some subscribers and how have you been other than that?
Good. Yeah, it's been what, 6 months now since I was on last, and that was just after I lost my channel, which was my bad. I mean, we were reading Dolores Cannon's book, and so I should have known better. Got 16 copyright strikes for that one, and yeah, she's gone. But no worries, got a new channel going. But yeah, it is a slow go because I'm already shadow banned from back in the Facebook days when I had the True Seeker group over there, and it just seems so. Even though I got a new email on this channel, it still seems to follow me. So, like you're saying, I mean, I'll go live and people will literally have to go looking for the show. They won't even find it in their feed. So
Yeah.
it's tough, out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Crowded.
I just seen Hillary Clinton today on somebody's show. She's gung ho about the censoring all the platforms, going
I
after
saw
Rumble.
that, and I saw
Yeah.
that too, Nina. I did. Yeah.
Amazing how the
So,
elites like that. They like it for themselves, that they have the right to say something like that. But
mhm,
if you rebuke that, then, you're called a misinformationer, disinformationer,
mhm,
and that is kind of leading into the theme. I awoke this morning about 3:30 and I had this thought in my mind because, the world's messed up. I mean, it's insanity. Um,
It's one rule for me and another for thee. My mum said that today about something that Nina's just commented on, something similar. And she said that, and it reminded me of Granny saying it, one rule for me and another for thee. It's that, you know,
it is
that
that.
that
It's been
Yeah.
that way,
Mhm.
Um, you know, Catherine Pitts, I believe, Austin Pitts, she was with George H. Bush, excuse me, George W. And she warned us back 30 years ago that they were creating a system that would enslave us, every human being. And as
Mhm.
she said, it's literally the word. I mean, it would be no different than, 400 years ago when people like Kamala Harris's family dealt in trading human bodies, slavery. But and I contend that the internet is that enslaver because we're all, I guess you could live off grid, but I don't know how this day and age you would do business or communicate.
I think we're into a monumental shift, and
Yeah.
that's the division and the bifurcation that I saw when I was a little kid that I didn't know what it meant. But I saw people going into the third dimension and people going into a fifth dimensional reality. And that would be existing in the same space for about 100 years. And I think that is going to be the difference between what you choose to continue experiencing in life. But I don't think even if you go more minimalistic and off grid, you're still going to have access to certain parts of technology, just not as much as the techno cities are going to be equipped with. I think it's just going to be depending on where you decide to go and how you choose to
Well,
finish
we're in a
this out.
shift. As I've said,
Mhm.
we had the Old Testament God, which was when we were in Taurus. That was the bull. Then
Yes,
supposedly when the Christ came in, he went to the fish, Pisces. And today we have moved into Aquarius of the man pouring the pitcher.
yes,
And the interpretation of that, in my mind, there is a prophecy in the book of Jeremiah that says that in the end days there would be a new wine poured out.
yes,
yeah.
yes.
And that was always in my mind when I studied that prophet, well, studied the book of Jeremiah, but anyway, that because the part of that rest of that prophecy said that there would be a resurgence in young men dreaming dreams and old men having visions.
Prophecy. Yeah.
So I see us moving into the door of Aquarius. The other two, the bull has been barbecued and the fish has been fried. Now, what do we replace that with? And I would say if I
Spirit.
could change spirit, thank you.
And the way,
You're in
that's
my
what I
head,
told you.
man.
And I said, they told me so loud the other day. Remember, I told you, I said, Realm Bridger, you've been given a new title to bridge the realms. And that's what we're doing with this expedition. We're
Yeah.
bridging realms and literally consciously walking at both at the same time. That's a Realm Bridger. Yeah.
And I got to tell you, you saw what the group went through is just, I mean,
It's awesome.
this is exciting, man. I mean, the back of the hairs on your neck stand up, because it's just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. You're
I
doing it.
think
You're doing it.
Well, we're doing it. This is what's
That's
so
what I
cool,
mean.
the
It's like
conduit.
we're doing it, you're doing it, we're
Yeah,
all doing it.
yeah.
It's kind of mind-blowing. I've been a part of these conscious explorations before, and you guys, when I was listening to it, I was like, "You did it! You just did it!" I'm so excited, and I loved how everybody saw their own doors, because that is the truth.
Hmm.
That is the fullness of it. It is so beautiful. So many were similar, but but they were still in groups of similarity within smaller groups. And you know what they were telling me? It's the element you were traveling through. The elementals were having a big
Mm.
part of what we were seeing was your connection to the elemental part of you. And I was like, that's very interesting, but that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
What I was amazed was how quickly the group, when we started getting into the breathing and then
You
entering
said,
into, yeah, it was just, well, everyone talks about it, but it was just, it was far out. All I can say, it was far out.
yeah, nothing's real till you feel it, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was. Jenny, I see you have that grin like the cat that ate the canary. I mean, what you thinking there, girl?
I'm just smiling at you guys. I could feel you working. I was frustrated that I couldn't join in for the first go around, but just smiling at you guys and the synchronicities and the shifts that I could feel from in my recovery. But the anomaly that you were talking about, I've literally just written a blog post today on my website. I'm trying to build the blog up. About the anomaly
Mhm.
in a system, and you were talking about being off grid, and then Trina mentioned bridging the gap, and all of those things I've written there today in similar words. So I'm just grinning at the synchronicities and the flow and exchange of information that comes
You
from the
know how
unseen.
everybody talks about we will win when we learn how to unify. It's about the unity. Guys, this is
Yeah.
such confirmation. We are that beginning. We're unified. We pick up each other's thoughts. We see each other's
Oh,
dreams. It's just powerful, powerful.
Smiling at that, I really am. I'm smiling at all of that because it's beautiful, and it actually is part of the resistance that you feel being the anomaly in these man-made built-up systems that do have a power for a rule for me and not for thee kind of way of being. Being the anomaly in that, you feel the weight of it, you feel the resistance of it so often. And it's these places that actually create the connectivity and resilience to continue being the anomaly, to continue being the anomalous matter in things that don't work with nature, that don't work best for creativity and ingenuity and all of those things that build upon the foundations that have gone past. It's these connections that actually make you have the strength to continue being the anomalous matter, in matrix-like systems that are confining. To be the anomaly in those systems, you can feel them like a weighted blanket. But when you come in spaces like this, I'm just smiling because it's the very place where you refuel, and you realize you're not the only anomaly in the matter. You can connect and become an even greater bridge,
going through
like
the
tree.
door with a group was very cool, I have to say, because as the expedition leader, someone has to lead and take that first step forward. And we only took one step in, which tells me that as we begin to get on our missions, that I mean, I have no doubt we're going to see physical manifestations. I have no doubt of that at all. So, Nina, jump on in here, girl. You sitting there like, tell us your thoughts. Tell us what's on your mind. How would you change the world if you had that chance?
Well, I think what I would do is lift the veil so that everybody will remember who they are and where we come from.
Me
Wow.
too. Touche.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
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 Hmm.
Yeah,
That's the
Yeah.
thing.
yeah.
If we could just remember, the fear will be gone, the gig will be up, and there's nothing much they can do to us at that point then, So
Yeah.
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 Remember, Wayne, I said, I think the greatest benefit that we're going to learn from this expedition is we will learn more about who we truly are. And
Mm-hmm.
this is the thing right now. And this is the greatest, like you say, concern for the ones that used to be, because they know that what we possess is beyond imagination.
And I contend, this is just me, if you can have a god or gods that talk to humans, man, woman, whoever, and then they write, this thing that they heard that God spoke to them. And then from that, we begin to, and you're assimilating other people into this thing. And then you begin to believe that this is really real. And then it becomes a religion and it dominates our consciousness. And I am convinced there's more than one voice in the astrals. And I look at
Oh,
the
God.
astrals as being layered.
Yes.
There is, if a deity or entity can give inspiration to a man and write a book, let's say the book of Jeremiah, Old Testament book, then why haven't we heard from the gods? Why haven't we heard something new, something that would fit into our time and our era? And that's what I believe awaits us.
I
I
think
mean,
part
isn't
of
that
it,
where inspiration comes from? I mean, that's what they say, all scripture is by inspiration of God.
yeah.
You can't be the only one that's not inspired. When I see Jenny, I did get inspired. When I see Nina and I see you, others, I get inspired.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. I think that inspiration comes every day. I know I get conversations and downloads every day from things that are completely foreign to me and often don't even speak my language, but like tongues, I can get the
Mm-hmm.
essence saying from their essence. And I think things like that happen every day. But like you say, those things that are happening now fall outside of the structure that a lot
They
of
do.
people want, that literally confine, that no more messages from gods, that's blasphemy, no more messages from all of these things that are now blasphemous, are the very things that built the religions that those coveted information sit under. But that information still comes through. It's just like Nina and Trina were saying, it doesn't get out there, or it doesn't get the kudos it deserves, or it doesn't, have the momentum or the money behind it. Therefore, it's sort of silenced in the ethers. But for those that are listening, I don't think those conversations ever stopped.
When we had the move of the Holy Spirit in the late 70s, charismatic movement, I was used in the gift to where, we would call it channeling today, but I would
Mhm.
hear a voice within me speaking specifically about an individual. And that is called a word of knowledge. And when I think about us moving into Pisces, and now we have the man pouring the pitcher, that is this new wine. And
it's the wine of knowing. It's
yeah,
no
and that's
more.
what the Christ brought
Mhm.
in the message of love. That was the first
Yes.
wine that was poured, but it was
Yes.
poured in when it was in the sign of Pisces. And now we've moved. I'm excited about because this is why I think groups like this one, we will be a part of that.
It's
Yes.
Whatever
actually,
this is being poured out, we're going to receive it.
Yes.
The book of
yeah,
Jeremiah called it the latter rain, that there would be a former and a latter rain that would fall. And one of the signs was that you would see people suddenly becoming um, inspired.
Master
Yeah,
and master. Hmm.
more spiritually minded than carnal minded.
Well,
Excuse me.
I think what I've
Stop
always
it.
seen when
Get
we're
out of
li-
there.
we're
You know,
literally gonna be able to do the stuff that these, magicians and stuff did. I think that's part of the knowing, is the
yeah.
knowing and unlocks your powers. And when you really start to realize who you are, you're gonna have access to things that you never even could imagine before. And I think that's the whole second coming of Christ. It's from Pisces into Aquarius, from I believe to I know. And it's
yeah,
through
that
that
second
spirit.
coming it's
Yeah.
more spiritual. Jenny, you held up a card.
Yes.
What was it?
This is the Aquarius card, a traditional deck, the Rider-Waite, and it's
The
always
woman.
actually jugs. Those two jugs, it's never one jug, it's always two jugs, two wings, two sides, the red and the blue. And often in other cards, there's one foot dipped in water at the same time. And what this alchemist here, this is the Temperance card, is the Aquarian card, and it's the alchemist. So you can see here they're balancing, just like the heart does, two streams of essence, of blood, of water, of liquid. They're balancing two sides and melding them in the middle, transmuting them into something new. And often the Aquarian age comes with the technological age too. So it's about applying these new essences within these new ages and within these new adaptations that we have now. But it's always two jugs being crossed at the solar plexus center of the region of the body. So those streams are always the two crossing. So it's the duality crossing into the one essence, transmuting two dual essences into one
Jenny,
essence.
I would sing in a song for years. Red and blue make purple. Love, love, love. Red and blue would join together creates the fountains of love. I've always seen that, and that's the perfect explanation of what we're doing right now. We're merging opposites to create the new violet fire of transmutation so we can rebuild this as the masters we were intended to be and creators we were intended to be. And this is exactly what we're doing. The balancing of all the red and blue, creating the new violet fire and the creativity and the power of accessing your crown for the first time in thousands of years.
So let's examine that a little bit close. So purple, right? What is the main theme that you saw, particularly when Biden was placed in and you had the women up there? What were they
Purple.
wearing? Purple.
They're
Now
ushering it in.
you've got companies like Wayfair, I think is the number one. Their color is purple, but
Yes.
purple is everywhere. So as you were saying that, the elite are plugged into the occult.
Yeah.
They got their seers, they got their card readers, they know. And here's something that just hit me as you were saying that. They were preparing themselves for this new wave, this new spirit, wherever you want to call it, which tells me it's not of a religion or a theology. This is something that's tangibly real.
It's
It's a
cosmic.
living word. It's the
Yeah.
living word. It's
And it's
applying.
cosmic.
Yeah. That's why it's living, because it's as above, so below, as within, so without. And
Yeah.
it's the living word, which is where scriptures can be distorted and disfigured to create characters and limit them into something that is unattainable or not applicable really in daily life. But when you get into the back doors of where that scripture came from, you can apply that word to any given age that you're living in, because it's a living, adaptable word that you can adapt to the timeline you're in. And so the teachings that are under the foundations of all of the scriptures books is something that is able to change with the times and be used within those times, like the Temperance card. You can take two streams of the same essence and create something new each time with the intent that you put behind it. That's the living word. They're the living waters that you apply. So it is.
It's interesting you say that, because Jeremiah was written right when the children of Israel were getting out of captivity with Babylon. What they brought back with them was Babylonian magic knowledge. They had lost theirs.
Yes.
And so it's so interesting because as you study the occult, everything always goes back to Babylon, Mesopotamia, in that area.
Sumer. Yeah.
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 Nina, what
And
do you
always
think,
be
girl?
Nina, didn't you do a bit on Mesopotamia a while ago? Or you were talking with some people who talked about
I
Mesopotamia
think you were
quite a
doing the
lot.
Adam and Eve story, weren't you?
That's maybe is where I've heard you talk about it.
Yeah.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm saying to you,
Yeah,
Nina, I'm sure I've heard you talk about
Sorry.
Mesopotamia before.
Yeah, I just had Gogo ask about if we're going to be continuing on with the Anunnaki, and I definitely think we're going to be bringing that back up. I was doing that before when my channel got taken down, doing the Anunnaki story. Most definitely go back to that. But yeah, we did do the Adam and Eve, that whole
Mm-hmm.
shift and everything that's going on there. That's definitely something that's going on as well. There's so many things going on right now. It's hard to kind of focus on one thing, to be honest with you. They keep every day, this is something else they keep throwing at you, and
Mhm.
going back to the blue and red, isn't that interesting that that's our political parties,
Yes.
Coke and Pepsi,
Blue
right? We
state, red
always have to
state.
pick. Yeah, they always make us pick blue or red, right? But for
Yeah.
me, I like to stay in the balance of purple as well.
Yeah.
That's my favorite color, and that's
Mine
probably
too.
why the royals use it. The royal,
Yes.
so
And
yeah,
as we're
very.
talking, so you have the disaster cycle. Ben Davidson over at Suspicious Observers is one that believes that the geological record shows that, and we know that our poles are in a what we call magnetic excursion. In
Mhm.
fact, the North Pole isn't too far from Russia now. And if this is true, these events, the last time that this happened is where we got Noah's flood. There was a cataclysmic event that hit Earth.
Mhm.
So if and he goes back in the record going back, 72,000 years ago, showing how this is a 12 annual cycle, 12,000 years with half cycles of 6,000 years with minor events. Well, we're up for the big 12.
Yeah.
You know,
This is a major ending of three clocks coming together to start a complete new age. Yeah, this is big,
so
big.
his timeline is like 2045 thereabouts.
I've heard that number too, 2038 and 2040, like all in that area there. They're saying that's usually when that's the big closure of a cycle ends or something. So
You
I
ready
think
for this? So
might be.
I knew this guy back in the day, Perry Stone. He's still out there, very, it's an evangelist, and he really studies Old Testament prophecy. But he did his thing, and it's interesting you said because it was 2038
Yes.
that the second return of Christ would be upon us. Now, I think that he misinterpreted that from the physical aspect to I think there's something celestial that
Yes.
is more tied to that.
I think you're right.
What do
Yeah.
y'all two
And
say over there? We got a problem. Come on, Trina. You're supposed to say.
the I've always spoken about how new cosmic stars and maps were going to be coming, emerging more throughout these next coming years. And I
The book
still
of
say that
Revelation says that we're going to wake up one day and the heavens will be rearranged.
Yes.
rearranged. That's what I've seen for. Glad you said that because I've seen it very clearly, and that's it's there for us to see already. I can feel the change in the skies. I can feel my direction shift is slightly off. I'm recalibrating where I am under the moon at night and where I am in the dawn in the morning. So
Holy
there's a
shit. I just see
recalibration
that.
going on, but it's what was it?
Well, I just saw something.
Huh.
So what that is saying is that the earth is physically going to be transported, teleported, or I don't know if we're going to be in the same solar, but that's the prophecy. It's also in Jeremiah, it's in the book of Daniel, it's also in the book of Revelation
We go
that
through three O holes, which is where we move
we're
in the
going to be
solar system,
immediately.
and we collapse timelines. So the potential
What?
gets solidified. This is what I saw. It was like a neural network, and all these streams were coming into the central point. And once we get to a certain point through this tunnel, boom, everything collapses in, and we solidify the new timelines, and we literally jump, and we will be in a new position of the stars. This is what I saw. You guys are explaining exactly what I saw. That's amazing.
Well, in the book of Peter, he says that God will roll up the heavens that we see. It will be consumed in fire, and then he will roll out a new heavens with a new earth. So, and
And I think
listen,
that
I
might
don't look
be,
at that as fear anymore. I look at this as look at this group, this expedition. We're purposely traveling into the mental realm,
Yeah.
you call it the spiritual, the ethereal. And we're not alone. I'm finding
Nope.
more and more people that are doing this as well. We're unique in the fact of our approach, but yeah.
Yeah.
So Jenny, I'm
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off, but when you said that, it just hit me in this moment of like, wow. Okay, so if are we that generation that you're actually going to see where the physical stars are no longer there? What would that do to the zodiac? What would that then do to all of this? It would be a new start, would it not?
Remember they
Yeah, and
reset the calendars too?
Yeah.
Look how. This is why.
there's layers of it, I think, in that it's I did a video a long time ago about how we actually manifest what we're seeing in the sky. Like our group is going on this exploration. It's just a shame that en masse we're not doing it with intent, because if we were doing it with intent, I feel we could actually pull down stars with intent from other systems into our sight. And that comes from the infinite, the eight that's on its side. That again is often depicted in the way that this temperance card is standing and putting the jugs together. It creates an infinite circle. And I feel that when we connect dots within our own inner cosmic realm, because inside the body looks like a cosmos under a microscope, when we're
Mhm.
shifting perspectives, it's that sort of lifts this veil, like Nina said earlier, this firmament, that this glass ceiling that previously only let us see this much of the zodiac. We're being pulled in with biomagnetic field to another set. And I do believe that part of our shifting in perceptions and openness to it does play a factor in that equation. And so from the
Wouldn't
things
that be
we're
the lifting of the veil if we suddenly saw the new heavens, that the new stars? Wouldn't that be in
doing,
essence the picture of
our
the mid-century? You
the whole
pull up the veil.
it's a
Yes.
whole new opening up. If you think about our star signs giving us a loose sort of interpretation, very accurate at times, interpretation of the path that we're on, the trajectory, the challenges that we'll face in this lifetime, that in itself gives us a pathfinder. But the fact that Fucius was hitting the 13th sign, the death and rebirth number, that already was something to detach us slightly from the path that we would follow. I think we are all shifting zodiac signs, aligning with what resonates with us in this new dimension, you could call it, realm, or just perspective that is opening up this new path of zodiacs, these new opportunities, which Aquarius would speak of quite a lot. It speaks of new, it speaks of changing old and implementing new. It speaks of using technology, communication, groupthink, and independent anomalous think into the equation. It really is a mixed bag, but this essence that we can draw from this age with intent, I do believe we can intentfully open up new cosmic paths. Even in the group that the exploration that we're all going to be doing, I don't believe it's beyond the realm of possibility. In fact, I know it's not, for us to enter into new zodiac paths and map them out and create a new cosmic path map for those that have the perception to see it and feel it and open those doors. I
You
think
give
those people.
us you give this group 8 weeks, and that's what I planned was an 8 week expedition. By the time we get to the eighth week, we will be advanced in studying and knowing the astrals. By the way, here's a little trivia for you. So we're in Aquarius, right? So think about this. The group, the fifth dimension, had their number one hit called Aquarius.
Oh, yeah.
Are you seeing it?
Right.
They were in the fifth dimension already, and they were telling
Yes.
us that the age of Aquarius was coming.
And
Yes.
they were all the hippies, weren't they?
Well, I know both. I know Marilyn McCoo and Billy Joel. They're married and they're pastors. They have a very large church, in Los Angeles, southern Los Angeles. So, yeah, very
That's
Where we're
interesting.
going. You know, it's interesting. Remember, uh, Mr. Floyd was talking about how you guys entered at 8:08 when you opened the door.
808, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's interesting. The whole day that day, I kept seeing the infinity symbol going through my body like this, and then the infinity symbol going through like this, and it was showing me how it spins and opens up the tunnels. And then they were showing me that the 8 above is your consciousness, and the 8 below are all of your beliefs and your programs of the earth. So they were showing me how to unify the hidden subconscious feminine parts of self with the masculine solar conscious part that we're existing in. They showed me that this is what we're actually doing, and we're literally merging all the time, and all of the as above so belows, but we're also merging as before and as to come. We're literally bringing all that in through these infinity gates that we're getting ready to walk through.
Oh, I'm telling you, I'm excited, And and if you could repeat the Hebrew alphabet, and I'm not that versed in it, but I know if you arrange 7 of the symbols, they open portals. In fact, the whole language. So I'm laying there, like I looked at it, was 404, something like that, and I'm being drawn back to the time of Moses when he had Phineas in the desert. And the story goes that Moses was given these tones by God, the burning bush. Um, and it was those tones that Moses used with Phineas, the high priest. And when he spoke that, it rent the veil between this realm and the heaven realm. And that's where Moses saw the showbread and the menorah, all of that. He saw that in the heavens. So what it was saying is that this portal was open through the use of these tones. I think we're going to do the same thing. I fully expect it. I mean, Jenny, you
So
were talking
vibration
about,
is the
go ahead,
trick,
hon. What's this?
Yeah. Vibration
Yeah,
and sound, there's a lot more to
tones.
all than people realize,
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So
the Hemisync program is based on these tones. And I'm picking this up real quickly as I'm listening to these, and I'm going, wait a minute. If I was to put a sound like a consonant to that tone that would then mirror the tone, I, in essence, would be able to open up upon command.
Wayne, I think we might already have it. And you know who gave it to you?
Who?
Sunday, Lion Rex.
Yeah, yeah. Come to think
Hi.
about that. Yeah,
Oh,
hi.
it's
Yeah,
what starts all creation. So I
yeah,
think you've already been given it,
yeah.
and we need to listen to that and check that out because that might be it.
in the beginning, there was the word. What is a word? Is
Yes.
vibration.
Vibration.
Tone, yeah.
Yeah.
Vibration.
Sound.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
sound things
That's
into
why our
creation.
spell work, your words are spells. Your
Yes.
writing is spelling, cursive, cursing, it's all there, so you're doing it all the time. You just don't,
Right.
you're not just not aware of it. So,
Yes.
yeah.
We used to sing in tongues, and there was one meeting that we had where it was there were 500 plus people out there in the audience, and as everyone was singing in tongues, then the worship team began to pick up on the frequency of this language, and we literally heard angelic voices singing.
They sing with you. Yes.
There were hundreds of people in the audience that picked up on the same thing. It still puts the hair on my arm because it was audible. It was fucking physically audible. We heard this. We couldn't see where they were at, but there was something else was singing besides the humans.
Wayne Realm Bridger.
I've heard that.
If you think of most
I love you,
churches,
Trina.
they've got
The,
forms,
the old temples, the old temples, people went there to get healed. And
Yeah.
the old organ,
Yeah.
they call it organ, that whole thing, when it gets going, it actually activates your organs,
Yeah.
you know. So,
Yeah.
yeah, they used to use this back in the day, you know, they just
There's
suppress that.
ancient cones, Nina, isn't there, of like clay cones that are so ancient. They haven't been accurately dated yet, but they realize these cones of varying widths and lengths and spirals make different frequencies, deep frequencies. So when they speak about cones that they put in between words like the English language, again, to limit the frequency and what part of the throat we use, those tones were used to shift mountains. It would seem to
Yes.
they create such a vibration. They were in the temples, and so in churches, you see that most churches, like Nina says, they'll have um they'll have oh, what's the word, Nina or Trina? The windows that are, they're carved in a shape of that
Yes.
are like the circle, the square, the triangle, all mixed together in various ways because they never used to have glass in them. The sound used to go through that in that shape. That's what I do to my oils for the creams. I put them on top of a speaker and I make the speaker boom the frequency through the bottom of the oil because I know it will go into the shape of it, it will imprint. And so when you're in that church, Wayne, and all of that reverberation of people's tones and frequencies, like Nina says, in a room that is reverberating the sound, you're gonna open the heavens. You're gonna open like part in the seas, isn't it? I think
We
Can I
actually
tell you what
recorded it. We
I keep
actually recorded
seeing?
it.
I keep seeing this with you, Jenny, over and over again. Your alchemy is going to get to such a level to where when you put the right oils into the right medium, literally you're going to hold it with your hands, and I see you touching it with one finger, and then you're going to watch it move, and it's going to activate in your hands. You are going to need no symbols very soon. It's literally going to be from the touch of your finger. It's
Thank
going to be
you. I do
amazing.
I pray over it, lengthy periods, the oils in the jars. I make sure they get the sun, make sure they get the moon. It's
But when it
that
connects with you, your essence is going to move it. It's going to literally bring it to life. I'm seeing this. I mean, bright light
thank you.
coming out of these formulas. You're welcome. It's your gift.
Well, it's amazing when you see they put sand on the thing and then, it turns into a different shape
Thanks.
depending on, what tone it is. And yeah, that's definitely happening with our body as well.
Sacred
That
geometry is what it turns into.
exactly,
Which
so these are all things that are right there, but they're not
Hey, look who's
about it.
back there.
Yeah.
Theo, what's up, buddy? How you feeling?
Hi.
Feeling all right? Well, you're looking good. How's school? Hang in there, kid. You'll be all right, dear. You're going to be okay.
Yeah. He's been doing maths today. It's not his favorite subject.
Yeah. Are we on the addition and subtraction or division or multiplication?
What we're doing today, multiplication. Go on then, Alex.
Ah.
It's working.
He's growing up.
Yeah,
He's
Yeah, he
getting
fast.
is.
my knee. My
Hey.
knee's and he's growing big.
Yeah,
So
he
someone
sure
was
is.
bringing out the shofra, the horn that
The
the
chauffeur.
Jews,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So that was part of that emulating sound. If you get a high priest that's doing that, they will actually, yeah, it's very interesting.
Very interesting. You know, those cones that Jenny was talking about too, that's the story of Coral Castle.
Hmm.
Those primary squares, circles, crescent moons, balancing on top of these megalithic columns. I mean, the guy never disclosed how he did this, but
They
there
did,
was
though, observe
reports.
that blue light at night, that blue-white
And
light that they See, I'm
And
convinced that he had the ability. He went into the ethereal, the astral realm. He was taking
Wayne, he was
substance.
using the ice cream cones. Two little kids were spying one night and they saw him moving the stones. And he was using ice cream cones and he was directing them with the ice cream cones. Somebody did see what he was doing, and you're right. He would call forth the primal blue light and he would activate some kind of a sound vibration through those cones. So you guys are onto something. This is
Nobody
ancient
says,
technology.
keep in mind Hermes, aka Mercury. Yeah, I
Mm.
still, Millie, when you brought that up for a split second, I'm back there in that dream again where he's handing me this golden, it looked to me like a silk thing that you would put over yourself. But yeah, anyway.
You know what
So
was so
Michael
funny?
Tellinger has a theory that the ancient pyramid stones were lifted that way. There's some kind of cone,
I believe
Yes,
sound
that.
and vibration in cones, and that's how they actually were able to lift the stones.
I think
Uh,
so.
so
That,
yeah,
yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I was
because you're not going
recalling.
to tell me that a 500,000, you know,
With sticks and
foreigners
ropes. Right.
are
No,
going to.
come on.
Okay,
yeah.
sure. Okay, you're right.
Well, there's something to that whole cone thing because I've heard him talk about it too. So
And it's
yeah.
about it's about the isohedron. It's about the isohedron. I know this is what it is. It's about the geometry of the shape itself. It's about the isohedron. So, and this is the new geometry that's forming the diamond. Because when you merge water with the isohedron, so the dodecahedron and the isohedron, when you connect them, it makes the diamond. And this is what I've always seen. We would be entering into the new diamond light templates of creation, diamonds. And diamonds throw off every color, and they've got so many facets. But that's what happens when you create and it gets formed into one focal point. That pressure and all those streams of energy collapse into one and forms that diamond. This is an etherical diamond, but this is the new geometry that's going to run our universe now.
I, yeah, I mean, I sense that all of us in one way or another are being prepared. Um, just by talking about this, it begins a process, and many of us are way past newbies on this. We're well into the initiation phase, as you would say. So, yeah. And I tell you, as I sit here, I am ever more grateful for that experience I had for nearly 50 years. What I walked away with was an insight into an understanding that we didn't know what we were doing. It's like we had the keys to the Ferrari, but we're
Yes.
still pretending. Ding, 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 and we've got the key right there, you know?
Yes. Perfect analogy, Wayne.
It's like,
Perfect.
gee, what's this key do? We'll put it in the
What do you
hole and
think we had
see.
it all the time? We had it the whole time. We
It's like,
didn't know we
oh,
could drive it.
shoot, man, it's got.
Right? Yes. We're getting keys. Keys are
Oh,
coming. Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
just,
just because
Indeed.
you had a daddy, with you on the insurance plan, so to speak. You were never the named driver because you had something in the middle of what your spirit, your inner child knew what to do innately, knew how to join in those group connectivities and tongues. It just happened so naturally because it's innately yours. It works. Your body knew it worked. You felt the lift of it. You saw the revelation of it. You were inspired by it. It's just that you still had a pastor in front of it,
yeah,
to limit it. But everything you walked away from, I used to, well, as a teenager, I used to really get quite cross that I'd wasted so much time in those churches before I was old enough to just say, I'm not going, I'm not coming, I'm not doing it. But then with as I got older, I realize I'm very much the same as you. The amount that I call on for good and bad as reference as being the anomaly in that setting, actually, it served me really well. I don't regret a day that I spent there. And the teenage me would have never agreed with that. The teenage me
it's
told me,
amazing
well,
what getting older does, isn't it? And I want
Yeah.
to put this out as well, because you see, there's sometimes confusion where people say, you talk about this religious experience, but how can you then come and say that religion is that? Those gifts that we were seeing and manifesting, there were people, for instance, the worship leader was having an adulterous affair with the associate pastor. So my point being is that it's not about a God, a Jesus, or any of this. This was the human essence coming together. And now, if you want to say that there's a Holy Spirit, but what we were tapping into the miraculous of some cases a dozen people, sometimes over 5,000 people. And I think we can do this here. I don't
Yes.
believe that the entity that calls itself God or goddess is going to be so bigoted and biased and saying, well, I'm sorry, you didn't get the right name. I don't know
No,
what
and
the freaking name is.
there is
I
no
don't even know
name
what
and it
my
don't
name
care.
is.
Yeah, there's no name and it don't care. And it really is
Yeah,
benevolent. The
yeah,
strongest force of this creation is benevolent and it loves to support benevolence. So yes.
yeah. And and that's what I see in the dynamics of this first expedition group. It's there.
Yes.
And wow. And someone said, let's just send out for the folks there in Florida. Yeah. And on top of everything
Yes.
that's been going else, I mean,
Pray peace over that storm. Give
whew,
Mother
I
Earth
just
the
say
chance to do.
dissipate. We can call on
Yes.
the elementals and they can
Yes.
intervene and they can dissipate this. So,
Yes. Yes,
uh,
because it's being artificially stimulated. I'm okay with letting Mother Nature do what she needs to do, but this interference, no more. Boom.
yeah, yeah,
No,
Is
yeah.
this
no
happening
more.
because of Mr. T? Because that's his
I think maybe part of that. Yeah.
Bigger than that. I think it's land grab. I think it's bigger than that. I
line
think
grab.
it's
Yes.
land.
I
See,
know my
that's what
water
I would do
was.
to change the world. If the veil got lifted, Nina, by the way, great. I like that altruistic thought because that is exactly what needs to happen. Then you take away the greed factor. Then without greed, you don't have power. And without power, you don't have any need to subjugate people to. It's a domino effect, who knows? Maybe we can actually do that,
Well, you guys rip it up. Rip that veil off.
Well, I'll tell you, when we get
Right
the
there.
second expedition, by the time we're done, we will all live vicariously through the experience. But it is my hope to see other groups break off and start their own expeditions.
I already do know groups doing this, but like you said, it seems that most of them are trapped into the astral battle concepts.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I did that for a long time, and it does nothing but cause a lot of pain and suffering, and there's no remedy for it. The astrals will always continue to do what the astrals do. So
Can
it
I
was,
say something on that?
yeah.
This is the movie Michael. I see John Travolta out there with the
Oh,
bull
yeah.
going, and it's like, you got the whole freaking universe, and so you're going to go and do battle, But anyway, yeah.
Right. So yeah, that's what I see. But no, there are people doing this, and I am seeing a lot of people now literally working on the stargates. And
Hmm.
that is a great plan and desperately needed because see, every time we start to shine light, the portals start to open up for more light to attrain into the planet. And as soon as they can detect them, they're trying to zap them and throw them out of whack and close them down. So we're connecting what is not wanting to be
Do
connected.
you know
So
what we
yeah.
need? We
What?
need a Woodstock. Not a music festival, but a festival where us astral travelers come together. Could
That
you
would be
imagine
fun.
500,000 travelers? Holy crap. You know what, people? I'm putting that out there because that could be a meeting of the ages.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
stop. Like
They're not going to want that. They're
Oh,
not
no.
going to want that.
Oh, no,
Oh yeah.
no. No, they're
Yeah.
going to
And
cloud
we
seed and
would have to
everything
put
else
everything
over. It's like,
purple.
hell,
I
we're going to
love you.
let you.
But now I'm coming, come rain, shine. I'm coming. Got the passport before they could deny it.
But now that
But
could be interesting because you see the powers to be trying to come against us. We would be so much more powerful. They're already afraid of us.
Yeah.
I mean,
How
Yeah.
about we just quickly now a spontaneity. Yes, I can't say
I
the
can
word.
spell that better than I can speak it.
Right.
Yeah, a holding of hands to just blow back that that uh that storm that is
Mm.
like Trina said earlier, to hold hands together in the astral
We can
and
do
in
it.
the physical, just build a wall that pushes it back into a space of the sea where the sea
Safely.
can dissipate and absorb it. So I think because people have been on my mind so much, I was quite delirious with my temperature, so I was in and out of spirit quite a lot while I was poorly, and I think we should do that now. I think
Let's
if
do it.
people could
I'm
open their
with
Just
you.
to
And
hearts,
see
let's
it just
join as many,
dissipating.
yeah,
yeah,
all
let's
hours of the day, as many that can join the circle of
Mhm.
light and love to dissipate the storm and make safe passage for all people
people,
and places and
you
animals,
know,
sea, water, all of it. Just dissipate when we add peace and calm and comfort and safety to all the people in all the earth. Just slow it down, dissipate it, whatever we can do. But together, all of our ideas and all of our different ways, that's when we do the best work because none of us have the answer, but together we have the fullness of the answer. So it's just grab hands. I'm with you. Stand hand in hand. Let's do this. Thou
let's
shall
just
Right.
not
open
pass.
Doing it already.
our hearts right now and take deep breaths. And with each breath, we reach our hands out to one another and just feel the essence going between the hands as we put palm to palm, as we stand together and we feel the reverberation of the love between all of us, the respect and the reverence that we have for one another, as our etherical feet touch the ground that is affected by these storms and due to be affected by the storms, we root our spiritual branches deep into the ground to create an anchor space where nothing can penetrate, nothing can go forward. We push back with each breath every particle, every mineral that is in the air, causing this storm to be as it is. We push it back into the sea, the mother, the source water, willing to accept any mistake and disperse it into the seabed where it is never to be recognized again as anything bad, but to be transmuted into something benevolent and beautiful. Let us all join hands and from our hearts see a rainbow emerging. With every breath, this rainbow wraps around this land and the people within it, and they have a peace that surpasses all understanding. And that without knowing it, the people of these lands that are affected and their loved ones join hearts with us in this safe space where we create a boundary of no more, this far and no further. All waters without any explanation are absorbed into the ground, rapidly so, creating rebirth, remineralization of the ground, and an emerging a strength of community, a strength of heart amongst those people that cannot be denied. Let us see headlines in the morning. Let us see headlines throughout the night where this storm has not managed to do what it is predicted to do, but has been dissipated into the sea, into the mother, to be dispersed and dispelled from any more harm. So mote it be.
So it is done.
So be it.
This is why the group you should, and boy, our time is just about over with. But anyway,
Sorry.
this is when we should have our ropes. You know, Trina, you and I have gold ropes, and there's the ropes for that I'm telling the expedition, because if we have that point of contact where everyone has the same kind of rope, same
You know
color.
what I keep hearing? They're so easy and they're cheap and they're called graduation cords.
Yeah, you can, and you can get them for
That's
less
what,
than a
yeah.
couple of bucks.
I
Yeah.
was drawn to that. I was like, I want a golden rope. And it was so funny. I literally, it was the first thing that came up was graduation cords. I was like, oh my gosh, that's perfect.
Yeah. So everyone think about that. If you were to get a golden rope,
Thank you, Jenny.
yes, thank you, Jenny. It
In
worked.
this feeling
So
like
I
that,
was
mate.
getting words like reduction in energy, reduction in impact, um, peace, calmness, quiet, a lull.
I cradled that hurricane like a baby, and I put my finger in the center, and I said, "It's okay, settle down now. We love you." And I was blowing kisses, and it was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "It's all right. It's okay.
Redirect.
Yeah, we
Redirect.
just gonna settle down. It's okay. You don't have to get so upset now. It's okay. We're gonna settle down." And it was just like, "Okay."
So we'll get this as a group, but this is where you can take your energy. Mine is this beautiful blue white, but that energy, that's what I was doing is when holding hands was seeing the energy, channeling that energy out. So anyway,
Yes.
yeah, it
Yes.
works. Lauren Ginger, I don't know you as Lauren Deer, said
Yes.
the gold grad cord on Amazon is $6.29.
Yeah.
So go
Yeah.
out, and if everyone, you see, that would make this group even more unique.
Yeah, and it's not an idol. There was a
No,
idol. It's not
it's
an
a
idol.
point of contact.
All it is it's a symbol to connect, right?
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
all it
not, it
is.
doesn't control you. It's a
Yeah.
tool for you to connect with the elements in the world around us. But there's no idols here. None of us, I don't think, are really having a lot of idol issues. So
I
that's
don't
good.
even idolize myself. Why would I
I don't
idolize
either.
something I don't even
I know
see?
I'm not, this is temporary.
Like,
This whole
sheesh.
physical thing.
But I revere it all. I mean, my goodness, magnificent.
But I think that it's a great idea, and then we could group come in there like I'm going to get this group to start thinking rain again
Well,
for the Midwest.
we connect by common threads.
Yeah,
And how beautiful to hold a common thread for us to show that we're connecting with each other in a symbolic way, but it's not an idle way. We don't need the cord, but that cord that we connect is as our connecting tool. And as that connection, we've created that connection. That connection is very, very, very powerful, but it has nothing to do with anything that we need. We already hold it, but it's a good focus point.
the master wizard that I was. Go ahead. What's that, Jenny?
Sorry, Masons use it in initiation, the
Yes, they
cord,
do.
and they use it because of its power to be able to have the person succumb and affiliate themselves with that belief system fully. And so if it's the same cord, but it's the same as a wand, it's the intent that you use it. Nobody is threading that cord for you. You're threading that cord with your intent. It's just a common denominator in the group that is easy for your mind's eye to go to. It's a conduit. It's a
We used
doorway.
to use anointing cloths. We would cut
Yes.
these in 2-inch squares. We would hold them, pray over them, anoint them with oil, and then you would pass them out to everybody in the congregation so that when they were praying, they would hold that cloth, and it is a point of connection.
Mhm.
Powerful stuff, folks. I mean, the master
Yeah.
wizard that taught me, Kenneth Copeland, he taught us how to hold a word, a thought as a point of contact.
Yes, yes,
It's
yes,
powerful stuff, man.
powerful stuff. Yeah,
So,
They call it a fetish link in the
yeah,
magical community,
occult.
I guess.
Yeah,
yeah,
They call it.
yes,
fetish.
thank you.
Yep,
See,
yep.
Mhm.
Egregore can be another as a fetish too.
it could
I mean,
be,
it's
yeah,
all the same.
absolutely.
Yeah, and it's like me. I love certain egregores. I love Gift. I still work with Gift. I asked Gift to assist this hurricane this morning. I still utilize Gift. I love
I
Pegasus.
asked
It's
Gift
one
to
of my
bring me
most
gifts.
Right. And it's one of Pegasus is one of my most favorite symbols to connect to my higher mind and my memories. I use Pegasus for that. But those are not idols in my mind. They're just
This
tools
is
of
mine now.
connection. The golden dragon. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Realm Bridger. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
got my partner right here, so we're
It's
ready to
so
go.
funny. Wayne, remember I told you it's a couple years ago, the dragon I work with was an orangey coral goldy color.
Yeah.
That's my
Oh,
dragon
I've got
too.
mine right
It's
here.
it's like a golden
I love that.
peachy
I am
orangey
Soul Tribe.
thing.
But the ancient dragons, I was looking it up because I was putting some of Mum's clay dragon's eye that you've got one, Nina, at the Trina, and Wayne's got one. And I was looking it up, and even down to the scales, there's ancient dragon scales. It's something like 76 yin and 36 yang, something like that. It comes out at the right number. But even to the amount of scales a dragon has, it's balanced by, there are more positive scales on the dragon and that doesn't counteract the negative scales. It's just about the charge, like Trina's spoken about before. It creates the balance of the battery that the dragon is, of the yin
Yes.
and the yang. And the scales are numbered, so there's more of the negative charge, more of the positive charge to balance the negative charge, and vice versa. It's really complex, but it was really just a fun fact.
And Dr. Hugh, I guess you didn't hear Trina. We don't worship idols. This is not an idol for me.
No.
I mean, I have
worked a
Sanji
lot
over
of it.
here.
Like I said, Wayne, a lot of us have worked a long time to deal with our idol worship that we got through religion. So we've worked very hard to dismantle that. And
That'll be
that's
the
kind of where we're at.
cross. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be your cross. That's
I
your
know
idol.
people that idolize Mr. Dr. Hugh of their car. They
I do
worship
too.
their car more than they worship a god.
Well,
So
man, it's
it's-
like there's loads of idolization there, you know, with stars and rappers. And look at that, that's all dissipating. That's
Yeah.
disappearing. The
It is.
idolization.
I know people who would rather make love to their car than their spouse. You know?
Yeah. I've met
Yeah.
people.
Now that's idol worship. So anyway,
Just makes
ladies,
me
we've really gone over. Nina, tell everybody where they can find you. I know I saw your subscriber count is going up, so I left the link.
That's awesome. Thanks to everybody who's subscribing. I'm actually doing a giveaway at the end of the month. So all you have to do to enter for free is comment on that video, post the link in there. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, of course. And every single video will have links to all my social medias and all that kind of stuff there. So if you guys don't mind going to check all that out. And yeah, this was the bear from a few years ago. I guess it's a collector's now.
It is a collector's item. Yeah.
And so that's my little fetish link to the R. Wayne show, I guess. Eh?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Now I'm all embarrassed.
I still got my bears too.
Do you?
That
Yeah.
one
I
there,
got my
the
Sky
big one
Pilot over there.
Yep. Our little friends.
Well, you know what? But that back in the day, I mean, we used that as a point of contact, you know, so everyone could, you know, give everybody a hug. It was back in the days when they had us all locked down, you know.
Yeah, but you know what the funny thing
right.
is too? Think about children. Children have a favorite toy, a favorite blanket, these certain things. It's because they're creating a point of contact for themselves for comfort. So this is kind of what we've actually done. These were our comforts to hug each other when we couldn't. And you're right. It's not an idol. It's not an egregore, but it was just a focus point for us to connect our love and unity together as friends and family. And that's a beautiful thing to have in your world.
I felt the love.
Me too.
I felt myself, but I also felt
Like
the love.
family here, you
Me
know.
too. Yeah. Yeah. I felt me, but I felt you too. Yeah.
Exactly. I think there's a song like that. Well, Nina, thank you, dear. We'll have you back on. I'd like to get you and Robert on as well.
Yeah,
Get
love to.
Robert V
Anytime.
back on
Yeah.
here. Yeah, it's been a
Yeah.
while. So for sure. Well, thank you, Nina. And again, folks, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to Jenny and to Trina's channel. Trina, you've been at like 1,000, and you should be well
It's not
above it.
moved. It's 7 years. It's hilarious. It does
Jeez, it's
7
like,
years.
what the
That
heck
shows
is
you,
up
you
with
know.
that? You know?
Yeah.
I used to have more. You know how they purge and they drop people, but they don't know they've been purged. So then they don't come back because they don't know they've been removed. And it's been a mess. So that's why I kind of gave up on the channel for a little bit, because it was so frustrating for me, because it was literally going down rather than going up. And I thought, well, if I don't do anything, it doesn't move at least, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I have that too. It's frustrating. So
It
we'll make sure
is.
that
I
you are
feel
still
you, Nina.
subscribed. Yeah.
Well, there's a
All
better
of
day
us.
coming.
Yes, I think so, Wayne. I do
Yes,
believe
there's a
that.
better
Yes.
day coming. All right, everybody. We love you. Thank you again. And now, you're going to be on next Tuesday, right, Trina? Or no, you're going to be out of town.
I will be out of town
Yeah.
next Tuesday. Yes.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
Jenny,
I'll
let
be
me
here.
know. All right.
Yeah, I'll be alive and here.
Yeah.
And Trina will be thinking of you. Enjoy your time
I'll
off.
be
It's
thinking
it's
of you and
always
sending
good.
you guys some good mojo from Sedona, Arizona, because that energy is off the hook. So it'll be fun.
I've heard. Yeah.
It's
Powerful
amazing.
stuff. That's what it
It's
is.
amazing.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Oh, Ginger said, Lauren says, I'm having hand surgery tomorrow. Please keep me in your thoughts. Well, Lauren, we are.
Absolutely. And Brenda,
Absolutely.
Milky Way Messenger's mom just had a surgery on her elbow this morning. So pray for her fast
Oh,
recovery.
okay.
We just
Wow.
intuited right when her surgery, I think, was done, a huge blue dragonfly flew through my yard. And at that exact moment, I said, Blue dragonfly. I said, Brian, I said, Mom's out of surgery. And I think all went well. He goes, I just heard the same exact thing. So I think everything went really well,
Ooh.
but send healing prayers to Milky's mom.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Brenda, we love you and send you healing,
Brenda.
darling.
Yes, we
Yeah.
love you.
Yeah,
On the
absolutely.
hands of the surgeon that was going to touch me. And she used to say, I've got absolute right because I approached them with love and reverence. In that she used to bless the hands of the surgeon and the mind of the surgeon and the sleep of the surgeon that was going to be touching me and the nurses that were going to be monitoring me. And I tell you, every time that magic mojo that she spoke, plus it did the surgeon a lot of good. They were walking on air after long surgery. So we speak to the surgeon that's due to touch your hands, and we
Yes.
anoint his or her hands with blessings and skill sets that they didn't even know they had until
Yes.
the day they connected with your hand, and that your hand will be one of the most beautiful works that they've created, and it will be remembered by them and remembered by you. And again, so mote it be. Remember that, keep blessing the hands of the surgeon,
Yes.
and you're going to be
So
Absolutely.
weird. Because I didn't know that, Lauren. Now on December 17th, I won't be here because I'm having my hand operated on. So it's so weird that this group is the
Interesting.
synchronicities has never stopped. Juanita, we
Yeah.
love you, darling. Expect to see your channel grow. Make sure to check her out on Wednesday, I think is now on Patreon. Is that right? Your Hump Day show?
Yeah, so my hump day is over on Patreon now. So most of the mystic stuff is over on Patreon. Trying to, that's the thing about the channel. It's hard to kind of get one audience when I kind of got two different things going on. But yeah, so we're gonna try to get more onto the other stuff on my YouTube, the mystic stuff over on Patreon. So go and check it out if you don't mind.
Please do,
and
folks.
subscribe and all that good stuff. And thank you so much for having me on, Wayne.
Loved it, hon.
Good to see
We'll
you,
get you
Nina.
back on.
Nice to see you guys as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good to see you.
Yeah, I kind of figured with the ladies, and
Yeah.
you two
Yeah.
ladies, much love, and there we go.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How do you do that? Like that?
Yeah,
It's
just like that.
See, I can't do it in this hand, like the live long and prosper thing, but anyway. All right.
It happens,
everyone.
Wayne.
Look at Jeannie's looking at her. I don't think I can do it on mine either. All right. There's Jules all the way down from Australia.
Much love.
Morning, darling. Good to see
Much
you,
love,
hon.
Jules.
And
Thanks.
everybody, we will see y'all definitely tomorrow. So be good.